Good afternoon and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show this afternoon from Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Partner, this is something we look greatly forward to every year. Well, this is plush.
This is a great venue, Jeff, and what an honor to be back here again this year with a couple of Bay County teams going at it, and couldn't pick a better day for baseball. High sky, blue sky, sun's out, 83, a little bit of a breeze blowing out, so looking forward to a great contest.
Well, and I think when we get done here today, Mike, we take pictures of what's going on and let the athletic directors know that there's a future expectation when facilities are reared and put together that this is how we'd like them modeled.
You know, I think what I'll do is I'll email all the superintendents in the Bay County schools and say, if you have the opportunity and you can make a press box like Dow Diamond, Bay County TV, Doan and Gwiz would greatly appreciate it.
Well, we would be more than a little
excited. Yes, we'll help with the fundraising if possible.
Our game starts today with the Western Warriors, 18-1 on the year. Obviously sitting at the top of the Saginaw Valley League.
Yeah, another good baseball team. Coach Mack, Tim McDonald doing a fine job. Got some good players for the Warriors. Jeff, number 2 in the state, and 18-1. Not surprised by the success of a Coach McDonald team.
Now, we went down and had a chance to chat with Mack for a few minutes beforehand, and he said, you know, Jeff, I knew we would have a good team this year. He said, frankly, did I think that this quickly we would be this good? He said, I thought that we wouldn't be playing our best ball until later in the season, but he goes, they're firing on all cylinders.
Well, and you know what? It's like any sport that we cover, Jeff. You just kind of get better as the season goes along. They're getting good pitching, they're getting good hitting, they're getting good fielding, so you put that combination together, and that's going to be nothing but success for the Western Warriors.
On the other hand, you look at the Pinconning area Spartans. They've got a modest 17-3 record with 2 early season losses to Bay City Western. So really, you scratch those 2 big Class A school losses off that record. And Jeff Sanick, a recent member of the 300 Club in victories for high school coaches.
Sir.
Congratulations on that, Jeff. And they've got themselves quite a game going up in Pinconning.
Well, you know, they're playing in that Tri-Valley League, Jeff. And, you know, some people were a little questionable whether that was their league. But we saw through football, we saw through basketball, now we're seeing through baseball. They can hang in the Tri-Valley, and they're well coached, they're well disciplined. You know, they're getting the pitching, they're getting the hitting, and they're getting the fielding. So, again, like Western, you put those 3 together and good things happen.
Well, and the newer facilities out at Pinconning, too, is they've got the stadium seating going in. Hopefully next year they get the press box in, and their facility is right up there with everybody else. Bay County is blessed with talent in baseball, probably more than any other sport from top to bottom.
Yes, I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and I said, man, the baseball talent over the years, many years, decades, has been outstanding in Bay County. And getting back to Pinconning, Jeff, what a great gym that we've been in, the football field. You guys were out there doing the track ceremony, 15 to 18 years without having a home track. You got to take your hat off to Pinconning, Mike View, the public, all the Tom Baderfer and the school board. What a nice job they did getting that track ready.
Well, it certainly was worth the wait, and it was very well received. When I was talking with Mike View off air, he said looking around at the back of these facilities, and that's the high jump, the long jump, the disc, the pole vault, all those extras, he said, what we have rivals small colleges. It's that quality.
They really did a nice job. And you know, you just got to be patient on that stuff. And school districts, as we all know, have gone through some very tough times here in the state of Michigan. But they were patient. They kept their fundraising going. And I really take my hat off to them. I'm so happy that Pinconning got that track fixed and got themselves a track meet.
Well, it's turning into a great facility again, and it just keeps getting better up in Pinconning. So we're just actually a couple of minutes away from our first pitch of the game. It's Dow Diamond. It's Bay City Western and Pinconning back in a moment as our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show comes to an end.
Where did this rash come from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart advanced.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Jared and Natalie Doan on the cameras. And we have got Nick Page producing and directing our show. Ready for the first pitch here, Mike. What a great joy it is to be here.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun, Jeff. Two good baseball teams, two good players on both sides. Well coached. This is what high school baseball is all about.
Nick Dardis, the catcher for Western, and seems like he's been in high school forever. You know, very talented young man. Got to play early as a freshman and sophomore, and now he's worked his way through, and he's got an opportunity to play at the next level.
I think so, too, Jay. He's got that Kelly Trapuka syndrome. He just keeps going, and it's like he's been here forever.
0-1 the count. As that second pitch down a little bit low and in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Look at that picture, bio, everything up on the board. Makes it a little easier for these old peepers to see what's going on.
What a great thrill for these kids to be able to play here, Jeff. One of the finest minor league parks in the league and in the country.
Zach Backus on the mound. 1 ball and 1 strike count. David hits a high, lazy fly ball into right field. And that one is taken in by Dakota Mays. 1 up and 1 down in the first. And I'll tell you, with this high sky today, the fly balls are going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Well, and you look at old Glory out there in left field, Jeff. It's blowing out. So somebody gets a hold of one and gets it over that 20-foot left field wall. It's going to go out of here out there by that fire pit. Again, what a great stadium, Jeff.
Yes, Logan LaCourse up now for the Western Warriors. First pitch is down low. Logan is another one of those young men that came through the JJK and hoop programs back when I was helping TJ Newsham doing a lot of officiating. You could just see athletics in these young kids at that age, and they certainly have matured into the athletes that we thought that they would back from the day. One right back up the middle. Zach gets plenty of time. Bats the ball inside the mid a couple of times. Nice soft toss over to first base. 2 up and 2 down. Pinconning could not have scripted out a better start to the top of the first.
Saw a couple of the players that I helped coach a few years ago, Jeff, when I was with Coach Snover. He's a head basketball coach, so had a nice chat with the kids, a nice chat with Coach Snover and Coach McDonald, and like old times down there in the Western dugout.
It's old home time, and Coach Snover, he can't get away from coaching one sport or another. As with 2 down and nobody on. Just a little bit inside, and it looks like it may have nicked him. That's Seth Gower. So Seth's going to get a free pass to first base. As with 2 outs, they finally get somebody rolling, and now Tyler David comes up. And, boy, when we got a chance to watch Tyler David on the skates in the wintertime, did he and the young Kaner boy make quite a tandem on that top line for Bay City Central.
Well, the Wolves were tough. We had them at the Bay County Civic Ice Arena. One of the many plethora of sports we have here on Bay County TV, Jeff.
Just a little bit high with that first offering, and it's the Wolves. It's not Bay City Central because it's the combination of the 2 schools, but that was certainly a treat to watch them play, and another great facility we have here in Bay County. David hits one right on a dime. View can't get it. And stopping at second base and playing it safe. As now with 2 runners on, it will be the 5th batter in the lineup, and that will be Ryan Miller, number 16, as he has an opportunity to make things happen to see if Seth Gower can score from second base.
Well, that was a nice, sharp, tough one to handle for View out there, Jeff. That was hit like a bullet. First and second for the Warriors, 2 down here in the top of the first, and no score early in the baseball game.
When you're a lefty and you go the opposite way, you have that other spin on the ball. So when it hit the ground, it may have moved a little bit, and that certainly could cause issues. So going to take a little trip to the mound right now. Zach Backus wants to make sure he's on the same page with the catcher, because obviously you know what's up with the guy at second base. Seth's going to be looking to try and tip the hitter off with a signal. If he knows the heater's coming.
Isn't that against the rules, or is that kind of like...
It's against the rules if you get caught.
You're absolutely right.
If the kid's got an itchy nose, he's got an itchy nose. Pitch is right on the outside corner at the letters. Strike 1. As again, Ryan Miller up with an opportunity to put Western on the board here in the first inning. Pinconning trying to get out of a little bit of a mess. In the top of the first, Zach Backus trying to pitch out of that problem with 2 on and 2 out. Boy, takes his time at the mound, tries to throw a curveball. And, Backus throws a curveball, so you really have to sit tight. And if that curveball hits you, then it's only going about 65 miles an hour. It's only a slight thing. It's just like a cramp.
That doesn't hurt.
As there's the pitch from Backus. And that one's hit right down the first base line. An easy scoop for the first baseman, Heron. And that ends the top half of the first inning with no score. Back in a moment here on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine.
Back here for the bottom of the first at Dow Diamond, Jeff Doden and Mike Wisdala along with you. Sun-soaked crowd here this afternoon.
I'll tell you what, that's a primo seat down the right field line, Jeff. Not a bad seat here at Dow Diamond. Grass is plush, just an absolutely gorgeous day. And what a great addition to the Great Lakes Bay region, the Great Lakes Loons and Dow Diamond.
Well, the beautiful part of this park is the grass truly is as green on the other side as it is on this side. Not often can you say that.
And you still have to mow it, too.
But having an opportunity to cruise out on the field for a few minutes talking to both Jeff Sanick and Tim McDonald, plush is the only word that comes to mind. And both coaches said, too, what a great thrill for the players. I said, well, Coach, what about the thrill for you? And he goes, oh, it's pretty exciting, too.
and the announcer's got a nice seat, too.
Well, and we're awful excited about that, as here come the Pinconning area Spartans up to bat, and they're half of the inning. Hunter McGillen will lead off, and those numbers are really tough for us to look at, so we're going to rely on the scoreboard to help us out.
White on white. I'm going to speak to Mr. View about that.
We need an outline of black on that right down the middle as Alex Snyder comes with the heat, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, new scoreboard here, Jeff. Good graphics. Telling you pretty much everything that's going on out on the field.
Strike number 2 is... It looked for a minute like Hunter McGillen was thinking about bunting. I think he was just trying to get the pitcher a different look. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Hasn't tried to fool anybody with anything. He's come with 3 pieces of cheese here. And right down the middle, just a hair low.
Ooh, good eye.
With 2 strikes, that is definitely good peeps.
Ooh, 20-20.
He had 40-40. It was so good. It was double good. As that one was snapped off and a little soft, lazy flip, and that's Andrew Snover out there at short. And that thing looked like it was going to get over his head at first, but it just wasn't hit that hard. Looks like he may have hit that off the handle a little bit.
Well, good blood right there, Andrew Snover. We all know Dad Dan played some minor league ball, played for the Durham Bulls, for a while. So it's in the bloodline for that Snover clan.
And there's a lazy fly ball, and that's going to be out to short left field, gathered by Plowdry, and he gathers it in. And I would say Grandpa was very talented in his own right, but, he was more the athletic supporter because he wrote about sports. Love that man, too,
Smokey,
Clarence.
Good guy. Was a good guy. And nice communication out there by the left fielder and the shortstop, Jeff. Left fielder's coming in. Plowdry's got a lot easier point on that ball, calling off Snover. Nice job. Good communications by those 2 players.
First pitch is a strike to Zach Backus. And that's what you do, though, as a shortstop until you get called off. You got to get out there and get after it. As soon as you get called off, you peel and you let the left fielder do his job.
Good job. Good coaching. Good job by those kids.
There's another lazy pop-up, and that will be in foul territory and taken by Tyler David. And that will do it. 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the first. At the end of 1, no score. Back in a moment for the second inning here on Bay County TV.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance for his new car. In 1947, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson in 1979. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back here for the top of the second inning on Bay County TV. Jeff Todt and Mike Wasdala along with you. Beautiful.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking of Dave Shore.
That thing out there, there's a beautiful thing.
Sure. At the new scoreboard here at Dow Diamond, they spared no expense on that scoreboard, Jeff. Absolutely gorgeous. And hopefully we'll be able to get up the picture of the kids when they come up to bat. Their picture comes up there. And all of them full of smiles playing here at Dow Diamond.
It's all pearly whites today, and not just in the picture, too. I mean, the excitement of those kids, they may have the game face on, but the game face is showing pearly whites.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a rough start to the spring sports season here in the state of Michigan. A lot of cancellations, and these kids were just itching to get out there to play. But here we are, Dow Diamond, top of the second inning, number 18 for the Bay City Western Warriors. Alex Snyder up the bat.
Alex is the number 6 hitter. As we're in the top of the second inning. A little off-speed pitch, and that one is down low. And the umpire's going to take it and rub it back off. You watch that game that starts at 7-11 at night, and they flick that thing back off, and they let the ball boy or the bat boy rub on it a little bit.
It's down in the minor leagues for
Yep, it's kissed the American Major League dirt once. Yeah. There's ball number 2 as that one's a little bit outside. So starting the second inning, Zach Backus trying to find the range here. As from top to bottom, you don't find holes in this Western lineup.
No, there's a good hitters top to bottom, like you said, Jeff, for the Bay City Western Warriors. That's nice.
Backus sends one into Alex Snyder and just took a little off, and you could tell Alex was looking for cheese and just a little out in front. 2 balls and a strike. Backus looks it over. He's now into the windup and goes outside. Pitching and hitting are both a rhythm.
Yeah.
And so if you can get the hitter out of his rhythm, and that's why when I played, if it was more than 2-3 seconds and they wanted to stare it down, I'm stepping out because I wanted to come back into my time frame. If you want to play peekaboo with me, you're going to do it on my frame.
Well, and you were an umpire's nightmare too then.
Well, and then once I started umpiring, I'd push down, I'd say, let's go, let's get back in, I get someplace I need to be tonight. And that ball on the inside corner of the plate, so it is now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Backus could bring a little heat right there, 79 miles an hour according to the scoreboard.
Full count pitch. Goes right back up the middle. Backus knocks it down, still has plenty of time, throws him out by a step. As Schneider is out, and Brennan Herner with a nice grab at first base.
Well, nice job by Backus, Jeff. He didn't panic. He knocked it down, calm, cool, collected, picked it up, rifled it over to first base. 1 down for the Warriors here in the top of the second inning.
Now, when I see this next guy coming up, Andrew Snover, I think small ball because he is one of those guys that's able to lay down the bunt for the base hit or the sacrifice or what is needed. And if he drags that down to first base right now, I guarantee you he'll be able to walk down there. Low and inside. How about a nice job by Zach Wojda to knock that thing down? And it's tough when you give up your body and there's nobody on base. You're just doing it because that's your job.
That catcher position is pretty tough on the body.
And way back in the day, that's what I played too. And, the expectation back then of having the best of equipment, you didn't really, unless you had somebody on base, you're not worried about that thing pouncing back or something. Somebody else can go to the backstop and get it. You keep a black and blue spot off.
But they're not that far back when you were playing. It was a little closer to
that backstop was only about 6 steps behind the umpire, and that was a thing of beauty. Snover swings and misses on the next offering. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out here in the top of the second. No score.
On deck for the Warriors, Jeff, number 17, Blake Plowdry, the left fielder for the Bay City Western Warriors.
So Floyd
nice.
moves back in and just floats one right up the middle of the old seeing eye single for Snover and putting him on base. Now, people might not think, well, he's on first base with 1 out. What you do is you change the pitcher from the windup out of the stretch, and they don't always pitch with the same efficiency.
Well, keeping his eye on Snover over at first base, Backus has to. Snover's got some good speed. Plowdry up the bat for the Western Warriors. We got 1 out. Snover on first. No score. Top of the second.
Again, as you said, Plowdry, the left fielder, swings and misses at a high offering. And the other thing that Zach Wojciech's got to remember, especially with people on base, if you don't get that ball right back to the pitcher, that's live ball. And if that thing sails out into center field, then Snover's going to find himself scooting down to second base. Just a little piece of that fastball offering. No balls and 2 strikes. Great pitcher's count for Zach Backus.
Well, Backus got that one up to 80 miles an hour. Plowdry just got a piece of it, Jeff. 0-2 for Plowdry here in the top of the second inning.
Out of the stretch. There goes Snover down to second base. He's got a big jump, and he's going to make it. That lead arm gets in. I'll tell you, great job by Wojciech to get that down there in a hurry.
Well, I think Snover saw the catcher for the Pinconning area Spartans. He set up outside, so he knew it was going to be kind of an outside pitch, and that was going to give him a better opportunity on the steal down to second base.
He definitely got down there right now, and now the pitcher, Zach Backus, has to look back. That's just inside, and that's what it'll do to you. The pitcher, Zach Backus, tries to throw a little Charlie out there as he put a little spin on that thing, and the curveball got a little bit away from him, and Wojciech couldn't bring it in. So now with 1 out and a runner on third base, it'll be interesting to see, does Jeff Sanick bring it in? He brings it in at the corners, and they're going to try and cut down on something to the corners. A play at the plate at shorter second. Looks like they're ready to yield the run. 1 down again, top of the second inning. Backus out of the stretch. And there is a medium distance fly ball, and that's going to be just deep enough to get Snover in. And the center fielder, Hunter McGillen, caught that ball. And as he lined up to throw that in, Mike, the wind took that just far enough away. And once Snover saw that he had to take a step back to get that, he couldn't bring that momentum forward, knew that there wouldn't be a play at the plate.
Yeah, and he saw that, and Coach Mack was talking to him too, Jeff. Good piece of hitting right there by Blake Plowdry to get that run in on the sacrifice fly. At the plate right now for the Warriors, number 14, the second baseman, Joe Courier. His first time up, 1-0, Western up over the Pinconning area Spartans, top of the second.
Backus can go back up out of the windup now with the bases empty and 2 down.
And one thing you got to remember here too, Jeff, on a pass ball here at Dow Diamond, the wall behind the plate is a long ways away from what these kids are used to. So if it does get behind you, you got to hustle to go get it.
You got to hustle to get it, but as a base runner, you want to go hard because if that thing takes a funny carom, you can sometimes go from first to third with so much area back there because the first thing the catcher's got to do is find it.
Yeah, it's a big area behind in the backstop behind the catcher.
Another ball as it's 2 balls and 1 strike, another 79 mile an hour though. So I'll tell you, Backus is warmed up and he's letting her fly 79-80 on his fastball.
Yeah, he's been consistent all game so far, Jeff, doing a nice job.
Another one down in the dirt. Wojciech doing a nice job, but I'm going to tell you what. The pitcher's going to go out right now, or the umpire, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to say, I'm going to take my time and talk to you because you know what just happened to the catcher? He got Taco Bell'd. It's south of the border. And he needs a minute just to so that he doesn't call for 2 balls and 1 strike the next pitch.
That is not fun.
And if you've ever played sports and it's happened, it's probably happened to just about anybody that's played through time. And, there's a span of about 2 or 3 seconds with the communication going back and forth before the brain tells you there's pain. And then after that, it takes about another 10 seconds to start feeling somewhat normal again. Foul ball back on the screen. We don't make light of it. It does happen. But
it is absolutely one of the most painful things that you have gone through as an athlete. But nice job by the umpire.
Yes, indeed. He recognized it right away and took his time walking out to hand the ball to the pitcher instead of tossing it out there. Just a piece of it by number 14, Joe Courier, as he keeps the bat alive. Backus is trying to change speeds on his pitch. That one was down to 77, so you don't think much, but the difference from 77 to 81 is a big difference in your timing of the pitch.
Yep, he's kind of mixing it up. Good job by that young man.
Just inside, full count pitch will yield a walk to Joe Courier. So back on the base paths with 2 outs of the Western Warrior, and back to the stretch is Zach Backus as well.
And back to the top of the order for the Bay City Western Warriors, the catcher, number 13, Nick Dardis. Saw him on the basketball court this year, Jeff, for the Bay City Western Warriors, and Coach Scott Keyser.
Just a great athlete.
Yep.
He just, any uniform he puts on, he is definitely an athlete.
Always fun to watch him play. We've had the opportunity to watch him play for the last couple of years and see his growth and his ability as a baseball player and as a basketball player.
And again, he's very talented in all sports, but I believe baseball is his best sport.
Yeah, he really does like baseball, Jeff. Works very hard at it, and he works very hard in the classroom, too. I know he's a very, very good student inside the classroom at Bay City Western.
I'm going to tell you what, these kids nowadays just amaze me how much they crowd the plate. Their hands are over the inside third of the plate, and that's how much they want to turn on a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And before, when I played, I stood as far away as I could, knowing that with my arms fully extended, I could reach the outside corner. And that way I wasn't going to get sawed off by any inside cheese.
Well, they just walked you intentionally every time you got up, wasn't it?
They knew I couldn't run fast enough to second. I'd be an easy force at second. Let me get my hands on the ball and I could hit it. Otherwise, he can't run fast. He's not a threat.
Yeah, when you were in track, they used to use a sundial all the time.
That is correct. There was a couple of times they ran out of sunlight.
Did the 100-yard dash in 2 days.
Oh, it was a thing of beauty. A nice off-speed pitch at 66 miles an hour that time from Backus. He had
at the outside.
Dardis really leaning on that fastball, and he just couldn't sit back long enough. And the pitch makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes right now. Pitcher's advantage for Zach Backus. Taking his time.
Courier got a nice lead over at first base.
There's a hit up the gap, and it just tailed back to left field. And Dakota Sequin had that thing perfectly played at the going into the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Western over Pinconning. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Todt and Mike Wasdala along with you. Jeff Sanick, the head man out of the Pinconning area Spartans, recently celebrating that 300th victory. That puts him as one of 7 in the history of Bay County to join that elite club.
Well, that's a nice honor, Jeff, and he's been around a while. Up the bat here in the bottom of the second.
Cam Floyd.
Number 7, Cameron Floyd.
How about that little Charlie snaps off at 64, and Cameron Floyd, that front foot was a little twitchy as he thought he was going to get drilled. Then he comes back with a fastball, and was a check swing. No even appeal down to first base to see if he swung at that. They must not have thought that it was worthy of. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nope, they did call it a strike on the board anyway.
They did. 2 strikes, 0-2.
That was an absolutely perfect placed pitcher's pitch on an 0-2 count.
On the black. Look good from up here, Jeff.
But you know what? You wanted about 2-3 inches off of the plate so that they maybe offer it and can't get much on it, and that one was in the same spot. Just a tad late on the swing, but they're not going to be able to get full barrel. They'll hit it off the end of the bat, and it'll be someplace soft.
Another 78-mile-an-hour fastball for the Western Warrior pitcher, and that is number 18, Alex Snyder.
And again, goes with the 66, 68-mile-an-hour curveball. And even if they get a piece of it, what you're doing is you're just changing the feel and the momentum. The eye level of the pitch is going up and down, in and out. This is a nice job thus far by Alex Snyder in this game. Just a little bit low. 2-2 is the count. As Alex Snyder, again, he can come out of the windup. And the pitch.
We got a piece.
Cam Floyd fighting him tough up there at the plate.
Nice at bat for Cameron Floyd for the Pinconning area Spartans. Hanging in there and making the pitcher throw some pitches.
With a name like Floyd, he can't be any relation to Coach Tim.
He's a good athlete then.
Yes, certainly indeed. Just outside again.
Nice pitch.
As he's trying to see if he's going to do a little fishing out there, and he says, nope, I'm playing baseball today, no fishing.
Good eye by Cameron Floyd, too, not to go fishing. Go take that pitch.
Count's full. And there is a slow ground ball. Nover at shortstop just makes it look easy.
You see the footwork on that? Real patient, Jeff, getting his feet, getting the ball in front of him, making sure he's taking his time, and did a nice job getting the ball over to first base. 1 up, 1 down for the Pinconning area Spartans here in the bottom of the second.
One of the things you have to understand as a shortstop, when you've got a father with the talent that he does, you still have to understand that when he's teaching you, he's a coach teaching you, not a dad. And that sometimes is tough to separate, but he has learned his lessons very well, that young grasshopper.
He's listening to old Papa.
Yes, indeed. Very wise. That's a little bit of a lazy foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the second. Western on top, 1-0. Here at Dow Diamond on a drop-dead gorgeous, finally could say drop-dead gorgeous day for baseball. Players think so, too.
That wasn't in our repertoire when our vocabulary for much of March and April, Jeff. It was just a brutal, brutal start to the spring season.
That whole chapter of the thesaurus was gone.
But and an AD's nightmare.
Yes, indeed, because now you're trying to reschedule as much as you can. And, when we look back at just what it cost us, and that is the Bay County baseball and the Bay County softball tournament, we were hoping to get 4 games in each of those weekends to highlight some of the great talent here in Bay County. And that threw us into a mess. Right to center field, beautifully played that time by Logan LaCourse. He was shaded a little bit shallow, and he came in, just cruised under it, and scooped it up for an easy out.
I'll tell you who else is a nightmare when these games are canceled. The old transportation directors got to figure that out, too. They got to adjust their schedule and find school bus drivers to take these kids to all the ball games. It's tough on everybody.
There's another lazy pop fly. And we're going to have the second baseman going back to make it all happen. Joe Courier makes it look easy. LaCourse didn't look like he could get there, so nice job by Courier to take charge. At the end of 2 innings, Western 1, Pinconning nothing. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby, baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready, with the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
All right, back here on Bay County TV is Old Glory is just starting to really pick up speed. Winds change directions a little bit, kind of right to left field now, coming from the south and east.
Yeah, Jeff, and you see Louis Loon and the state of Michigan flag out there in left field, just not too far from the fire pit. Out there in beautiful left field here at Dow Diamond.
They won't need the fire pit as LaCourse. Is this the second time he's gotten hit in this ball game? Nope, I think it was the third hitter, Seth Gower, that got hit with 2 outs and nobody on in the first inning. So 2 hit batters, though, nonetheless, and that's a stat you don't like to have to keep. But, you know, that just tells you how close these guys are to the plate. The pitchers cannot miss inside without fear of hitting those people. Oh, look at Coach Mack down there. He is going Signal-esque. Man, oh, man, he must have stood in front of the mirror for a long time to make that thing look like poetry. And it's great because if you look at the signs, there's 10, 12 signs, but there's one key that tells you that the next sign after the key is the one that goes. And, well, you just watch these guys going at it, and it's just a thing of beauty. Strike one to number 7, Seth Gower, the third hitter.
And you look at that coaching staff right there, Jeff. They've got 2 Bay County Sports Hall of Famers on there, and Tim McDonald and Coach Snover.
2 very well-deserved honorees on that group as well. Great coaching staff at both Pinconning and at Western.
Both squads.
We'll toss back to first base. He's getting back there is Logan LaCourse, and
Sanic over at Pinconning, assistants Paul Lynch and Greg Kazmierski, manager Ed Hemstreet. So, again, good quality coaches here in our Bay County schools.
Yes, indeed. Going into second again, arm hair just prior to the tag and into scoring position. 2 strikes the count, though, on the batter, number 7, Seth Gower. Don't forget about Amy Mativa, the team trainer here for
right.
event as well.
Yeah, I remember Amy from all the football and basketball games we do.
She does a tremendous job.
That's a vital person on a staff.
It certainly is. As they're looking around right now, and I'll tell you what, they have really, LaCourse has got back us looking left and right, and then LaCourse will take off, and that's going to force the second baseman, Labine, to head over there just a little bit closer. Now View heads over that way. And
whoa, look out, Coach Mack.
Shot down there. Coach Mack is saying, whoa, Nelly.
He looks like he was doing a limbo.
I tell you what, you can get the old Bic out for that one and do a close shave.
I tell you what, for an old coot, he sure does move pretty good.
Well, I think he's seen a few of those come sizzling by him in the day.
Another good man down there at third base.
Oh, certainly is. I have a lot of fun with him, too, when he is helps with the football program.
Yep.
As Gower fouls one off. And, you know, I saw Coach McDonald come today with 2 bags or 2 boxes of balls. So I don't know if, you know, maybe both teams have to supply it for one game. But, you know, just like the Pony League, you don't get a bag of popcorn when you return it to the concession stand.
Well, good old Coryell Field.
That was another great spot in my young life. As we have a...
Who'd you play for?
I played in Pony League for UCT 51,
right.
Jerry Ricker.
Jerry Ricker. I played for Elks 88.
Oh.
Yes.
You guys had a Charlie Snapper on that team, too.
Uh-oh.
There's a ball that's up in the breeze. That is over the head of the left fielder, and that is going to be off the base of the wall. LaCourse is going to really cruise into second base. And as it comes down to third, coming in is Gower with a double and probably an error to get him to third base. And I'm going to tell you what, when that ball was hit, Dakota Sequin just turned it around. He was beelining because he knew there was no way he was going to get the leather on that one.
Well, Gower got that up in the jet stream, Jeff, and it just took off, hit the base of the wall. But great running, great visual aspects out there by Gower. He watched that ball the whole way, saw that little bit of a miscue out there at third base and took advantage of it.
Now we've got 2-0, Western on top. Again, Backus having to go out of the stretch. Tyler David, the batter. And with only nobody out, I thought there was one. I had to look out there, and I saw nothing.
Nobody out for the Bay City Western Warriors here in the top of the third inning.
David with that southpaw stroke. One ball and one stock. How about Woj on that stop? That would have been an easy walk home for Gower.
That was a nice job by that young man, Jeff, the catcher for the Pinconning area Spartans, Wojcik. That would have been an easy run for the Western Warriors. Let's remember that stop, possibly here down the later innings of this baseball game.
Again, out of the stretch. Backus is just a little bit different pitcher than when you can go into the windup. It's a little different rhythm thing. He's very talented both ways, but, boy, you can't make mistakes against this Bay City Western team. As that pitch hits the outside corner, Woj just having a little bit of trouble getting that ball back to the mound. So I don't know if he got stung by one of the pitches or one of the foul tips. So that's something Coach McDonald's got in his bank if he gets somebody else on first base to see, if they could take advantage of that. Right up the middle, just a soft, lazy seeing eye signal for David. As crossing the plate is Gower. And then coming up to bat will be Ryan Miller right now. So doing a great job, the Western Warriors making it happen. And I'll tell you what, so nice to hear the golden tones on the PA of Jerry O'Donnell. 106.3 way back in the day when we were nippers. And he's been here since the inception. I remember going and interviewing for that position.
You did.
And got down to the final group, but could not beat out those golden tones that time. And he's done a tremendous job. Has great passion for it, and he's very involved with the Loons and all that they do. As there's an outside pitch, and Woj.
I think he's still hurting from that earlier situation, Jeff, when he got hit. And Coach Sanek's going to come out and see what's going on, but he is not 100%.
No, and that's, when he got out of that crouch, the thing he needed to do is immediately call for timeout to the umpire for that situation, because once David saw that he was having a problem, he just took off and kind of walked down to second base. And Woj didn't even know that he was going. He was more concerned with his injury.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to take a minute and find somebody. It almost looks to me like a groin injury, like he strained a groin muscle just by the way that he's walking.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Jeff. I would agree with that. He was very gingerly favoring that right side, so I would say it's probably a groin injury from the time when he got hit.
Well, we'll take a break while they get the equipment on another catcher, and we'll be back in just a moment here on BCTV.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
As Bernreiter is the new catcher for the Pinconning area Spartans. Boy, as the Western Warriors are getting after it, up 3-0 right now.
Still nobody out.
And a runner in scoring position being David. This is always a tough place to be, too, as the base umpire. As that first offering from Ryan Miller, trying to play a little small ball and get the base runner to third base with one out. But in slow pitch, or in fast pitch softball, you are actually behind the shortstop, and it's even tougher. You've got to be in front so that you can have an opportunity to get a good look on a play if it goes back to second base. But that hot shot comes right up in the gap, and you don't have much time to get those tootsies moving and get out of the road. As the ball is fouled off by Ryan Miller, he's 0 for 2 on sacrifice bunt attempts. And, there's a difference between bunting for a base hit and a sac. You may get a base hit out of it, but you're just trying to advance that runner. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Now Miller almost certainly will be banging away here with 2 strikes. You don't want to foul off a third bunt because that'll be strike 3.
looking at Dow Diamond, Jeff, in the stands, got a pretty nice crowd for a Tuesday night.
Well, the weather kind of helped bring people out, when it's this nice. As a check swing, that one almost would have served like a sacrifice bunt. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes as Ryan Miller stays alive.
Some of our young fans, Jeff, in the crowd tonight getting their early taste of Dow Diamond in high school baseball. Start them early.
Yep. Get them over there. Started early. There's kids in playland having a good time. Ryan Miller with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Back us out of the stretch. Down in the dirt. Ernreiter doing a nice job of holding that down. That's another thing that's tough. You can't just come in off the bench, to play any position. You're playing catcher, and Backus is trying to move that ball around, and you've got to keep that runner at second base.
And he's a little bit cold. He just came in and put the equipment on and got right behind the plate, Jeff. He didn't even get a couple warm-up tosses.
Just a little bit low. Count is full. As you said, Gwiz, that's like 2020 peeps.
Oh, Ryan Miller. I'll tell you what. Nice job. I tell you, I was about ready to ring them up here, but that's why I'm up here and the umpires down there.
They're doing their job, and we're trying to do ours.
And they do it a lot better.
That's ball 4. So now what you got to do, Gwiz, is you got to watch the umpire at shortstop, because he's going to take his right hand and put it over his left chest as soon as he gets the umpire to look.
Yeah, he saluted.
They're going to call timeout. They're going to make that happen. Right hand over the left chest signifies that its infield fly rule is in effect. And then when it's done, you take that right hand and go up and down the arm twice to wash it clean, saying no longer in effect.
Umpiring 101, Professor Dome presiding.
It's been a few years, but the old dog remembers a few things. Double play back into play now for the Pinconning Spartan defense. And another sacrifice bunt attempt as Alex Snyder up to bat right now. Fouls it off, and Western has not had a ton of success thus far this game trying to sacrifice those runners forward.
Yeah, Cam Floyd is pretty much getting right up on the grass over there at third base. Jeff looking for the sacrifice bunt by the Bay City Western. Still no outs here in the top of the third. They're up 3-0 over the Pinconning area Spartans.
Well, look at Herner, too, as he does the same thing. And that's the bunt, and that is going to go down, and they're going to try and go to first base. Just get the out at first base. How about the pirouette by the official out there on the field as the umpire was ready to make the play at third base, then had to focus his attention a half step out at first base. Nice job, but really, in essence, the sacrifice bunt worked. By the time he looked at third base, there wasn't much there. Now you've got Mr. Small Ball up at the plate. You got a lot of options.
Yeah, Snover had a single at his first time at bat, Jeff. 1 out here in the top of the third, 3-0 Western over the Pinconning area Spartans right here from beautiful Dow Diamond.
Defensive infield in on the grass right now. They can ill afford to give up another run.
Oh, tried to squeeze.
And they tried to squeeze bunt, but the beautiful thing is now they're going to slide back to second. And by doing that, they're going to get them into a rundown, and they're going to see if they can't. They're really looking bad right now. They had the suicide squeeze on a pitch that Snover couldn't get his bat to because it was so far outside.
Yep, and unfortunately for the Warriors, they just got caught in the rundown. That will be out number 1 here in the top of the third for the Western Warriors. Still Warriors with a man on third base and 1 out.
Very, very well played by the Pinconning defense that time. Make certain that they got out without a run scoring. That is just textbook on the defense.
Did a nice job.
There is just a lazy foul ball, and even if that one stays in play and that one's going to go into the stands, if it's going away from you, you really don't have much of a chance to garnish enough strength to come back and look at that.
I think a fan from Bentley, Michigan got that one.
Yes, indeed. He was out there. And, no, you can't really see the smile. He is excited. He's going to check that ball out good. And so it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Snover. He used to live in Rhodes, and he moved to Bentley into the burbs.
And just a quick reminder to return all foul balls to the dugout.
Jerry O, he's got his eye on you, young man. Snover with a little foul ball right back on the screen. Boy, he had that thing timed perfectly, just didn't square it up quite enough. That thing was heading out to center field.
That's where he hit the first one, right back at the pitcher when he got his first hit of the evening, Jeff.
I believe the count's 2-2. It says 1-2 on the scoreboard, but I think it's 2-2. And there's Snover. Look at Labine with a nice job for out number 3. And at the end of 2.5, it's 3-0. Western on top over Pinconning. We'll take a break and be back right after this on Bay County TV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Toad and Mike Guazdala along with you, Jared and Natalie Doan running the cameras, Nick Page producing and directing our show. Glad to have you along from Dow Diamond on this drop-dead gorgeous, perfect spring afternoon for baseball.
Started the golf league a week ago, Jeff. I didn't think we were going to be able to start out at the beautiful Bay County Golf Course, but
it was a little wet out there, huh?
It wasn't bad, actually. Wasn't like that about 3 weeks before. We were a little worried, but the Bay County crew did a great job getting that golf course ready.
Well, when they know that you're coming out to play, that puts a lot of pressure on those guys.
Oh, yeah. I got off the tee on number 1, hit it right down the middle, and somebody says, well, only 56 more to go.
Yes, indeed. Nothing to it.
What a great course, too.
Oh, that's another one of the gemmeries in Bay County.
It is. It is a gemmery.
As we've got 2 balls and 1 strike count on Brady Bernreiter. As again, he's just recently in the game for Zach Wojda. Just a little bit low. How about those peeps? 3-1 the count.
Kids have got good eyes here for both squads, Jeff.
Alex Snyder came with 81 on that last fastball. And there's ball 4. Bernreiter's going to have a pass to first base. Now what you've got is you've got Jeff Sanick down there with the stopwatch close by, and he's definitely taken aim at the amount of time as we got a pinch runner. Can't afford for your maybe your only catcher left to strain something on the bases, so they bring a little speed merchant in.
I think that is number 24, Jeff, senior outfielder Logan Walzak.
Walzak got it taken out at first. He thought he got back, and I'll tell you what, he was leaning. And as he headed towards second base, gets picked.
That was not what Coach Sanick was expecting when he put Logan in the ballgame, but a nice move to first base for the pitcher, Alex Snyder.
Oh, a little catcher interference, I believe, on that play. That's something you don't see very often.
Not very often at all.
It's coming back to the dugout now, and definitely when he leaned towards second, he was a dead duck. A good throw, which exactly what came from Alex Snyder, made that an easy call for the ump.
At bat for the Pinconning area Spartan, Dakota Mays, number 11. Right fielder for the Pinconning area Spartans.
As there is a lazy fly ball. Always going to be taken charge by the center fielder. As Logan LaCourse takes charge, scoops it in, and kind of cruises back out there. I always like the way the center fielder is kind of the general in the outfield and calls all the balls. And if he can get to it, normally it's his.
It's all his. If he can get to it, you just let him get to it. And if he can, he'll let you know. And that's, again, good communication by Logan to his pals in the yellow uniforms, letting them know, I got it, and made a nice catch.
2 down and a nice 69-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. And, Hunter McGillen was looking for the cheese, and he just couldn't wait long enough to pull the trigger on that off-speed pitch.
Hunter starting at the top of the order. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Bay City Western 3 and the Pinconning area Spartans 0. 2 of the top teams here in Bay County, Jeff, also in the area and in the state.
Well, and I'm going to tell you what, when you watch Alex Snyder go to first base, his move to first base and the accuracy of that throw, that is knee-high right on the glove and going right down to the batter. So I think that the runners better understand what kind of a move he's got and an ability to pick off that runner at first base.
Young man spent a lot of time and just painted the outside corner.
At the end of 3, it's 3-0. Western on top over Pinconning. Back for the 4th inning in just a moment here on Bay County TV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Toad and Mike Wasdala along with you. Cade Campo is now the new pitcher for the Pinconning area Spartans, and he will be facing Blake Plowdry for the Western Warriors. Foul ball up over the screen, a souvenir.
Yeah, somebody made a nice catch. Dr. View made that catch? Not surprised.
He's always had good hands.
Great hands by the superintendent of the Pinconning area Spartans. There he is right there.
That doesn't shock me a bit.
Yeah.
That doesn't shock me a bit.
I didn't think he could catch a cold.
As that ball is pulled deep into the left field seats over there as where they serve up the buffet here at the Loons games. Another pitcher warming up for Pinconning as well. And they can ill afford to get much farther behind because they know exactly what Alex Snyder is going to bring to the table, and he's not going to give them a lot of opportunities to score.
Nice pitch.
Perfect pitch that time, and that was at 73 miles an hour. So what you're seeing right away coming from Cade Campo, Gwiz, is you're seeing a fastball now in the 74, 75 range, and that may seem like fun, but when you're used to timing an 81 and now you see 73, 45, it's a whole different deal.
And he's a lefty, and we went from a left-hander to from a righty, Jeff, to a lefty. Got to keep that in mind when you get up the plate.
Just a little different spin, that ball on the inside, and you really have to give pitchers credit when they still try and work the inside third of the plate with as much as these people crowd the plate. In the last 5 years or so, these batters' hands are over the inside third of the plate, and that's just something totally unfamiliar to my time frame. Nice job that time by Campo. As he said he had a little sun in his eyes, he got to pull the lid down just in time and make a play.
I think when he did that little hop, the hat was coming off, so he had to straighten that first and kick it over to the first base. Nice job. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, Gwiz, you never know when you're at Dow Diamond when you have an opportunity to be on ESPN, and he did not want that moment to happen with his hat flying off.
We'll talk about that when we get some time, Jeff. We got a great story from last year.
We got time. As we have got first pitch high from Cade Campo again in to start the 4th inning here for the Pinconning area Spartans on the mound. 1 ball, no strike count. He's kind of got just a little short wind-up in delivery. And look at that, right back, a little one-hopper to him. He's like the king in his court. He doesn't need to have the rest of them out there. He just makes it happen, smiles at Burnrider coming off. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it is Western 3 and Pinconning nothing. Back in a minute for the bottom of the 4th on Bay County TV.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Ben, please.
Wow, you can talk to your app? That's pretty cool.
Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Jared Doan and Nick Page out doing the cameras right now. Natalie's doing a little double duty, trying to do a little producing and directing.
Tell you what, jack of all trades, master of none is that Natalie Doan.
You gotta love that. Start off the bottom of the fourth inning. Darren Labine, another one of the great athletes on this team, second baseman, is going to offer a bunt on the first attempt, pulled back. They're going to say that he did not offer on that first one, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike count as Labine is trying to get something going offensively here for Pinconning in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Oh, boy, that was a nice try.
Dropped the bunt down, just went foul.
Labine's got a little bit of speed. We saw him in football. We saw him in basketball, Jeff, so he can get down to first base. So good man to have up there bunting the baseball.
You know, the 3 boys, all good athletes. The youngest one coming up, I believe, is in about the 7th or 8th grade right now. So he'll be the last of that athletes, but they said he is very, very talented. Look at LaCourse just having a beat on that ball and trying to look at the wind and play it all out. Just makes it look routine out there as there is 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
And a good, and again, good footwork by LaCourse, Jeff. You know, takes that 1 step back. It's easier to come in than it is to go back, so he kind of scopes it out a little bit, and another routine play for the Western center fielder.
Coach 101 over here, giving us a little center field technica.
I didn't play much out there when I was mostly at that shortstop position.
I played mostly left out. I played some catcher and I played some right field were the 2 positions that I played through Pony League. And just looking back, great time in our young lives, though.
I loved it.
And the baseball brand was great back then as well.
Yeah, there were some very good baseball players.
Oh, boy. As Nick Page is getting a quick close-see of us.
I didn't see that, so I'm glad I didn't see it.
Saying, yep, these guys truly used to be athletes. Look at them now.
I run the 100-yard dash, all they use a sundial.
And the 3 balls and 1 strike right now as Alex Snyder is maybe starting to overthrow a little bit as he is still at 80 miles an hour on the fastball. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're Zach Backus right now, you got to be looking for the cheese in a small spot. And he got the cheese, but it was outside great eye. And a base runner for the Pinconning area Spartans. And more importantly, you're going to make the pitcher, Alex Snyder, now come out of the stretch.
Well, and Pinconning needs to do something right here, Jeff. It's the bottom of the fourth inning. They're down 3-0. Maybe make Snyder pitch the ball a little bit and get that pitch count up a little and see what happens. But they need a little spark right here. And Cameron Floyd, good batter to do that for the Spartans.
Boy, I'll tell you, 68 miles an hour as he snapped that curveball off, and he let it go just a little bit too high. But he certainly had Cam Floyd thinking fastball and wasn't going to hit that little cheeser if he couldn't put the bat that way. Right back up the middle. An easy play at second base. They get it to Snover for 1. He turns that double play.
Wow.
What a great relay by Snover. Footwork once again, Coach.
That was picture perfect. Got to the bag, got the good flick over to first base. Taylor-made double play for the Western Warriors to end the fourth inning.
Taylor and made. I don't know where that came from, but it's been there forever. Love that phrase. Back in a minute for the 5th inning on Bay County TV.
You treat your family with extraordinary care every day, which is why when it comes to their health, more of you choose Covenant Healthcare. We specialize in extraordinary care, from diagnosis to recovery, from babies to grandparents. Learn more about our extraordinary bariatrics program. Sign up for our free seminar.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. We're like the players. We're all pearly whites up here. Loving the plush digs that they put us in, Gwiz.
Well, you know who actually sits in one of these 3 seats up here, Jeff, when he comes to town?
Mr. T.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda when he comes to watch the Loons. It's the Dodgers Class A affiliate. He sits right in the same booth that we're sitting in. So, His Royal Highness.
Nothing could be finer. As that first offering from, again, second inning of pitching for Cade Campo, as he really did a nice job of changing the pace in that last inning to keep the Pinconning area Spartans in at least reachable at 3-0.
Up to the bat for the Warriors to start the inning off. Number 12, the center fielder, senior Logan LaCourse.
How about that 60-mile-an-hour
What a bender.
Charlie that he dropped off there, and LaCourse did not expect to see that. One in the hole at third. Look at LaCourse rounding it hard. He takes a big turn to see what's going on. His view kind of trots back in, said, ooh, Nelly, slow her down here, where you're not getting any farther than first. I like a guy that runs like that, though, because the slightest bobble, you're going to put pressure on people to make sure that they do everything clean, quickly, and get it in.
Well, that's the first time they've got the Cade tonight, Jeff, for a hit. He is the second pitcher tonight for the Pinconning area Spartans. LaCourse with a nice lead.
That one just off of the glove of Herner down there, and that thing was just scorched. Again, Mike, the tail on that ball coming off a right-handed bat going to right field. It's really
slice.
tough. Yep, as looks a lot like some of my drives that look like they're straight for about 30 yards, and then they take a big hook.
Well, and I've heard you hit it at 300 yards, 150 out and 150 to the right.
You are correct, you know. My ball retriever is my best friend. I might not find mine, but I'll find three of somebody else's that were probably better than mine.
You're batting pretty good, brother. You're batting 300.
I learned at an early age to find those things in the woods. As now they
nice
perfect sacrifice bunt, and they're not even going to have a play anywhere. Bunting for a base hit. Tyler David, how about that from your cleanup hitter, Mike?
Nice and soft right down the third base line. Put it right where it had to be, Jeff, in between the third baseman and the pitcher. Neither one could get it there. Nobody out. Top of the fifth inning. Western up, bases loaded, and 3-0 lead. Nice job by Tyler David.
Ryan Miller, number 16, up to bat for Western, and you got to love this with nobody out and bases loaded as a hitter. You just want to make solid contact someplace, and you're going to get a ribby. Beautiful job that time, 74-mile-an-hour cheese from Cade Campo. No balls, one strike. Ryan Miller. I think he might have been looking off speed because that first pitch was right in the happy zone. Ball just foul. Heading down that third baseline, and somebody will have to pop up out of the dugout and go down and grab that one. This is a big out for Pinconning because if they can get an out here without a run scoring, then a double play might take them out of the inning without any damage. Ryan Miller says, I got something to say about that, though. Purpose pitch on the outside. Miller wasn't biting.
It's a good pitch right there by Campo. Make Miller go outside and try to get that pitch, but Miller didn't want anything to do with that. 1-2 for Miller for the Bay City Western Warriors.
And if Miller gets something on the outside third, he's got to just serve it up to right field as he takes a line drive into left field. And we've got one run in, the second one coming to the plate. And they are going to score a couple as Bay City Western puts another 2-spot on the board. How about Ryan Miller with a line drive single to left?
Nice base running by out there at second base, too, by Tyler David. Jeff, he was looking at Coach McDonald the whole way. Coach McDonald said, you stay right there, young man, at second base. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Pinconning area Spartans.
They're going to be bringing in their third pitcher of the game. And we'll take a quick break and be back after this on Bay County TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
checking out some of the vast array of spectators here. Great crowd, as you said earlier, Mike, on hand.
Yeah, they are out in full force tonight, Jeff, enjoying this beautiful late spring afternoon here at Dow Diamond between two of the top teams in the area, Bay County, Bay City Western Warriors and the Pinconning area Spartans.
5-0 after the pitching change. Just a little bit high on that first offering to Snyder. And who did we decide was coming in to pitch? It's really tough to see the...
That was Dakota Sequin.
Dakota Sequin, we believe, is the new pitcher. Those numbers on that Pinconning, the uniforms are drop-dead gorgeous, but so hard to see those numbers. 1 ball, no strike.
You know, one thing about the Bay City Western base runners, Jeff, they really keep the pitcher on his toes, and they're watching them all the time, really, really doing a nice job out there, making it tough for Pinconning.
As there is a fly ball into right center field, and that is tracked down by the right fielder out there. How about Dakota Mays going out and getting after that? And he had to really change his launch angle to get to that, too, because the wind kept carrying that ball away from him in right field. But he made a nice catch. And offensively on the base paths, Western had it very well played. Tag at second. The guy at first is about 5 feet from second. So if it's dropped, they both have a chance to advance 2 bases. Otherwise, he's got an easy chance to scamper back to first. So they tag to third. Puts him there with 1 out and another opportunity for Western and Andrew Snover up to bat. And there's a strike.
We're not going to throw that down to second base, Jeff. The Warriors get the stolen base. But Tyler David on that last fly, he saw the right fielder going back. He knew that right fielder could not go back and throw that ball in. He tagged up, got over to third base. That's good vision by Tyler David, knowing what the right fielder's doing.
Strike 2 as Snover saw one on the outside. I'm going to have to find out if that's truly a stolen base or if that's indifference because they made no attempt or no play on it.
Right.
So nonetheless, he's at second base. We know that much for sure. But with second and third and 1 out right now, Snover kind of at an 0-2 count on 2 great pitchers' pitches, that time by Sequin.
Good hit.
Look at him just put the bat on the ball and make it happen. Going to potentially have a play at the plate. Very nice job. McDonald waved him home, saw the throw was coming in, stopped him on a dime. Protecting the plate, 0-2, put your bat on the ball, and it finds grass.
Yeah, he just went with the pitch, Jeff. The pitch was outside. Andrew just put the bat on the ball, got it in the left field, got another run in. 6-0. Bay City Western up over the Pinconning area Spartans here in the top of the 5th inning.
Blake Plowdry is the next batter for Western.
Boy, they just keep coming at you with bats, don't they?
They just do not have a weak spot in their lineup.
They're very good.
Oh, boy, can you get him up here to the top?
Well, it'll be an easy money for him. We haven't won all year.
Well, that means we're due. Some of these 50-50s are worth 100, 150, and we're looking for one that's put a couple of – that might even put 2 tankfuls of gas in our car. Went back up to $3. There's an opportunity for a double play. There's the first, back down the second half. Very nice job by Plowdry getting down the base path. Looked like for a minute like Floyd kind of double pumped on that ball at third base, trying to make sure he had a good grip on it. You have to make sure you get the lead runner of the 2 so that you can at least get 1 out. But Plowdry raced down there to beat the relay toss, and another run scored. Western with a 4 spot here in the top of the 5th.
Well, Brevin Herner did a nice job on the stretch. Jeff throws a little bit wide down at first base. He concentrated on catching, didn't worry about the out. So he did a nice job keeping the ball in play.
Joe Courier up to bat next. And a nice little 64-mile-an-hour curveball by Dakota Sequin. No balls and 1 strike.
Pulled the string a little bit there, did the pitcher for the
Dakota Sequin.
Dakota Sequin for the Pinconning area Spartans.
So finally 2 outs, and Just a little bit outside. Nice job that time by Joe Courier to not fish for that outside pitch. And that when Dakota throws that pitch, that's a purpose pitch. He knows exactly where he's throwing it, hoping that the batter is going to take an offering at it. Again, out of the stretch is Sequin. And there's a little slow chop to third. Nice job gathering it in. Cam Floyd with a nice rocket to first base. Finally, at the end of 4.5 innings, after 4 runs scored in that inning, 7-0 Western on top. Back in a moment for the bottom of the 5th, right here on Bay County TV.
You don't think it'll happen to you, and you surely don't think it'll happen twice. I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado hit and destroyed everything again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Stop by our office at 706 South Euclid or give us a call to see how we can help with your home, life, auto, and business insurance needs.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Jared Doan on the center field camera, Nick Page behind the plate, and Natalie Doan producing and directing at the Momente.
Still got that great team together, don't we?
It is second to none.
Wow.
Just good stuff. Now it's really important in the bottom of the 5th here that Pinconning dents the scoreboard and at least gets a couple. You know, if you remember back a couple of weeks ago with Central and Garber, Dr. Dufresne says, you know what, going into the 5th inning, all they need is a couple runs here to get back in the game and get the momentum. They got a couple in the 5th, a few in the 6th, and enough in the 7th to cause it to be a tie game. And unfortunately, we ran out of daylight and had to end that game at 9-9.
Well, and you know Dr. Dufresne is a plethora of knowledge, so
some of it useful.
Most of it not.
He's consistently inconsistent.
Yep.
It was great to have him on board for a game to help us out. As another nice pitch that time by Snyder on Mason View. As Mason had that timed, he just couldn't quite square it up.
Mason View, Jeff, the sophomore, got a couple more years left, but gets a lot of playing time in all sports up at the varsity level.
Another great athlete.
Yep.
That pitch is low and outside. He's got his mother's athleticism and his mother's looks, and they're blessed both times. Of course, we love Mike View as well.
Yeah.
What a great ambassador for all of Bay County. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 5th. Mason View, the leadoff hitter, a little bit high. Count's full, so they're making Alex Schneider work just a little bit out on the mound. Don't see a pitch count, haven't kept track of that. Here comes the full count pitch. Right back up the middle, and that one had eyes. Nice solid contact by Mason View, protecting the plate at 3-2. Exactly what Pinconning needed was a leadoff hitter on.
Well, that might be the spark, the hit that the Pinconning area Spartans need, Jeff, here in the bottom of the 5th inning, down 7-0. Mason View on first, up the bat for the Pinconning Spartans. Number 9, the first baseman, Brevin Herner. Saw him on the basketball floor a couple times this winter also, Jeff, when we did our winter sports schedule.
He's another good athlete. Again, we keep saying this over and over, but both these schools are blessed with very good athletes.
Yep, they are.
As Snyder comes with a nice fastball, just paints the outside corner. Really not a lot that Herner was going to be able to do with that pitch.
That was a nice pitch by Snyder, Jeff. Good lead down there by Mason View. Mason, for a big kid's got some wheels on him also.
I doubt down 7-0 that they are going to have View on the move, though. They can ill afford to have him thrown out. And that's just a chance that you most generally would not see a team take. That one run isn't going to make or break the game, and you're hoping for a big inning.
Well, and if he can get to third base, he's got the speed to do it, but he's also got to be a smart base runner, just like you said. You know, down 7-0. If he can't get to third base, get on that second and make it first and second with nobody out.
And through my many years of playing and even into the softball realm, I loved being the third base coach because you really have to totally be tuned into where they're playing, who's playing out there, what kind of arms do they have, is that ball going to the left or the right of the outfielder, is he coming in, is he moving laterally, is he moving back? And, boy, you can take advantage of extra bases if you're smart and do it. And I just love doing it because from the time I stepped on the field till I stepped off, it was all focus. Fun before and after the game, but not during, boy. That's the only time you have fun is when you do it right. There's just a lazy fly ball to left field. Blake Plowdry, I'll spit it out, with a nice job, just kind of camps underneath it. And that's out number 1 of the 5th inning.
They had shifted over for Herner, Jeff, when he was up. They had the center field to the left field side of second base, so they were favoring that side. Good scouting by Coach McDonald and his staff. Up to the right now, up to the plate, Brady Burnreiter for the Pinconning area Spartans. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Snyder, he takes a nice long
Man,
look.
He does.
And then he just goes to look to the plate for a second, and then he just snaps back to first base. I'll tell you, Mason View has no aspirations to steal one here, I don't think. That purpose toss to first. Right at the letters. I like that high strike. It is kind of a lost art when you get up to play in the bigs. You know, that thing gets above the belly button, and they don't call it. It's supposed to be the knees to the letters. And I like the strike zone of our home plate umpire.
It's getting better. It's getting bigger in the bigs, Jeff, but it's still kind of small.
It's like a jumbo shrimp.
That's a contradiction of terms, isn't it?
It's the same, only different. It is a nice 0-2 count right now as
painted it.
Alex Snyder is just rearing back and throwing 80-mile-an-hour cheese right now. Let's see if he snaps off a Charlie on 0-2 here. Just a little bit low. He got the 69-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and nice job by Burnreiter to take that pitch as it was just in a little bit low.
Took a little off that one. Kind of had the same motion, Jeff, but just took a little bit off.
That's a purpose pitch.
Yeah.
You're going to see cheese now. Just on the outside corner. Again, he's very, very good command, but you see the job of the catcher there, Mike. What's he doing?
Yeah, he's making that umpire think, bringing it back into the strike zone.
Trying to frame it.
New catcher, number 15, Brandon Brown, is in for the Bay City Western Warriors, replacing Nick Dardis.
Just off the inside. He tried to snap that thing off, and it didn't hit the strike zone until it hit the catcher's mitt. So nice job that time by Burnreiter to run the count to full.
I like Brandon Brown. He's got a little moxie, too. He's a senior, trying to frame those outside pitches, inside pitches, bring them in.
Oh, my, just getting back. Mason View, don't know if he stumbled as he tried to push that foot, the plant foot, to get back, but he just got that hand in time. Schneider's got an incredible move.
He really does. He's put some time into that. That's an art to have that good of a move.
Outside, ball 4. When you're just a little bit worried about that runner at first base, that takes your focus off the plate. And now with 1 out and 2 runners on, we'll have to see Sequin if he can make something happen. Got another pinch runner coming back.
Logan Walczak, number 24, in the pinch run for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Walczak was the same one that was on base earlier. So he's adept right now of his expectations as a base runner. Nice way to keep rolling here, and they're going to play behind him. David's not going to hold him on. They're going to go for the double play ball as there is just a lazy pop fly. And look at LaCourse. He's talking. He's putting that arm out. He says, oh, let me do it here now with 2 outs. Got to watch the umpire, Gwiz, because they're going to break that arm. Wave the arm. Come on, wave that right arm. Oh, no, he's got a different signal for the infield fly rule being off. He's kind of going gotcha right here on the right earlobe. That must be something new this year.
Well, the last time this happened, he had a salute.
Oh, so they must have their own signals going here. I thought for sure we'd have the old sweep of the dirt off of the left arm. Nonetheless, they've communicated well. Right down Woodward Avenue with that first pitch. And I don't know if he was waiting to take a strike or if he was looking off speed, but Dakota Mays took what could be the best pitch he's going to see, but they're just trying to manufacture base runners right now, doing anything they can. So they're trying to go deep into the count to see if they can make Snyder work.
I think we got a new center fielder out there, Jeff. I don't think LaCourse is out there anymore. I think it's number 11, but I can't tell for sure. We'll adjust that. Is it number 10?
Number 10?
Trey Miller.
That's GoPro Miller out there, number 10. Just a little bit high. Losing just a touch of velocity on his fastball, down to about 77 right now. He was running 79, 80 earlier, but, he's got to be up around 70, 75 pitches right now. What do you think, Abacus?
Yeah, I think you're right on, Jeff. Right on. In that general area.
So for the bottom of the fifth, a fly ball. Back. Great job in the outfield of tracking it down.
Miller.
Center fielder doing the job. And Miller hauls that ball in at the end of 5. It's 7-0 Western on top. Back for the top of the 6th in just a moment here on Bay County TV.
Ow, ouch! My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, oh my, the pain, I can't take it anymore.
Back here on Bay County TV, just a little bit of the sun-soaked crowd as there's just a little bit of shade forming now on the first base side as this crowd has enjoyed it. But you look down the right field line, those people knew exactly what they were doing when they commandeered that spot out there. They said, I am going to find myself staying in the sun as long as I can, as the leadoff hitter is Brandon Brown for the Western Warriors here at the top of the 6th inning.
Nice thing about sitting down there, Jeff, you don't have to bring your own seat. They provide them for you.
That's a thing, oh beauty.
Little Adirondack chairs down the right field line.
Gotta love those cozy comfies. Pitch is right down the middle. Brown takes it for strike number 1.
Yeah, and then you look out there in right field, Jeff, and you see the Dow Chemical Complex out in right field, and M20 out there in left field, and the surrounding area around Dow Diamond has really flourished. The downtown area, they've done a nice job with that also. They've got the new streetscape over there, that beautiful H Hotel. What a great area here in Midland.
At H Hotel, the first time I walked in to look at that place, I looked at the menu and I said, this menu's not for me because it didn't have prices on the food.
You got to ask. You can't afford.
You're in the wrong place, and guess what? I was in the wrong spot. I said, I work for Bay County TV. That was a nice pitch, and that had the batter, Brandon Brown, totally fooled. Just missed the inside corner. As Dakota Sequin threw a great 0-2 pitch.
That was a very nice pitch.
Here's the windup again for Sequin. Just on the outside corner, but a tad low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Shea is out in the bullpen, and they may go to him because, as we talked about, Snyder has thrown quite a few.
Looks like he might be coming in, Jeff. Next inning for the Western Warriors.
Boy, Mason View had a really tough hop there as that ball looked like it hit off the lip of the grass and really caromed up high. And even had he caught that, I don't know that he would have had to play it first.
Wow, that was deep in the to the right of Mason View, Jeff. You're right. It took a funky bounce, high bounce, really for an infield, and that's going to be a base hit, no doubt about it. Mason, wise decision not to throw that ball. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th. One on for the Bay City Western Warriors.
That ball was so deep, it was deep in the heart of Texas, that shortstop. As a nice pitch that time by Dakota Sequin on Trey Miller. As Trey was the center fielder that made a tremendous grab to end the top half of that 5th inning. Or the bottom half, excuse me.
Ooh.
Just missed. I'll tell you, Sequin is really painting the corners.
Brady Burnnight here, he framed that one for about 3 or 4 seconds. He wanted the umpire to think a little bit.
And when that happens, you don't need to say anything to the
No,
umpire. He
no.
knows. But I'm going to guarantee you one thing. You don't want to frame it for too long because
No.
you don't want to El Turco off the umpire because that next one that's on the paint you might not get.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
that ball is
absolutely right.
off. There's a real fine line there.
Man, the umpire will have no. Say, all right, yeah, I got it.
Yep. It doesn't take much. We're smart fellers, and we know when there's a pitch that was close and you wanted it, but if you're as an umpire and you see that catcher move that mitt at all, you're getting the indication that the catcher doesn't think that ball's in the strike zone.
Right.
When you frame it and don't move it, that's when you're going to get the call because that's what we look for as umpires, that you're moving that glove. And Miller does a job where he offers at the pitch, and they're going to call him out.
First out of the inning for the Bay City Western Warriors coming to the plate is number 9, Jimmy Grigg, a junior infielder for the Bay City Western Warriors. Her first time in the game, first time up the bat for the Western Warriors. They're up 7-0. Jeff, 10 hits, no errors for the Warriors. 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Pinconning area Spartans.
As Mason View broke up the Snyder no-hitter with a nice solid single up the middle. And there's a great hit once again. There's another base hit for Jimmy Grigg. It's 11 for the team, his first of the night. As Shea is in for David as well at first base, so McDonald has really had a nice opportunity to let the rest of the bench play and save his starters for that second game. What a luxury.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Grigg coming off the bench, getting a single. Nice job by Coach McDonald, giving some of his players a rest and getting some kids in there that are going to play vital roles during the state tournament.
Ball just off the outside corner. As Dakota Sequin even took a little glance in on that when he says, wow, that thing was close. 1 ball, no strike. Oh, beautiful. There's a photo op here. And there's a line drive. Is that going to be over the head of the right field? Oh! What a nice grab that time out there. Dakota Mays just made it look easy as he reached up over his shoulder and made a superb catch out in right field. I thought that thing was heading for the wall.
Oh, Adam Shea hit that like a bullet, Jeff. And Mays out in right field stuck his glove up and caught that ball. Nice job. Runner advanced from second to third for the Bay City Western Warriors. That's number 16, Ryan Miller. Is that 6 or 16?
I think it's Miller.
Okay, Miller.
But he did a nice job because the way that was hit, I would have been off and running as a base runner, and I would have been looking silly.
Boy, and he concentrated. Mays out there in right field did a nice job. I thought it was going to the wall, Jeff, but he's got that glove up there and didn't panic. You know, he just took his time, got the glove up there, made a nice play, got that ball in very quickly.
Well,
2 outs.
And exactly right. You got to just try and figure out a spot that you're going to get to, and you got to hope that that's the right spot. And he did a great job of making both happen.
Up at bat for the Warriors now is number 2, Evan Schlatter.
Is that going to just hang up long enough for the center fielder, McGillen, to get that one as well? At the end of 5.5, it's 7-0. Western on top. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Dode and Mike Guazdala along with you. And we have got Adam Shea, the new pitcher for Western, as Mr. Snyder has done a full day's work. How about 5 innings of work and 1 hit?
Yeah, not a bad outing for Alex Snyder of the Bay City Western Warriors. Jeff pitching the shutout. Mason View broke up that 1-hitter with that hit right up the middle. But again, Snyder moving over to first base for the Warriors, number 18. And a good outing for Alex and the Western Warriors so far.
We're going to put Alex Schneider's 5 innings into perspective. When you throw one-hit ball against a team on the season that is 17-3, you're not playing against chopped liver.
No, and he Pinconning's a good hitting baseball team, and he mixed it up tonight, Jeff. He had some heat, he had some nice changeup. He was inside, he was outside, so he kind of mixed it up a little bit. They had a nice outing, and so he's going to spend the rest of the time over at first base. But what a great job this late in the season for that young man to pitch that well.
Well, you're right. He went in and out, up and down, changed speeds, just had great command of everything that he threw, as the first offering that Shea throws to the plate is a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. On the inside third, Hunter McGillen, the batter.
Adam Shea, the junior for the Western Warriors, and cupboard's not too bare for Coach Tim McDonald either. Looking at next year's squad, Jeff, he's got a good group of juniors, got some good leadership, some seniors, but he's also got a good group of juniors coming back.
2-1 the count. Right down the third base line, Hunter McGillen with a beautiful stroke between the third baseman and the bag. And a nice job by McGillen, because he knew when that ball went wide, he had the ability to take an extra 6 or 8 steps because there was nobody manning first base. But you sometimes got to watch out that the catcher doesn't sneak down there behind you. And the last thing you want to do is get yourself out on a play like that.
Well, and he knew where Snyder was at first base, Jeff, so he was making sure that ball had to go all the way to the right field wall, down the right field line.
Darren Levine with a lazy pop fly here that the second baseman is going to be able to get his hands on. And I think Joe Courier is still at second base, but I did not get a chance to check as the defensive switch may have taken place. Zach Backus, who started the game pitching, stayed in the ball game after the pitching job that he did.
Yeah, I think Courier's still over at second base, Jeff. He's got a nice game tonight.
Backus on the inside, steps away from a pitch and cruising down to second base for the first time, I believe, tonight that they've had a runner to second base in scoring position. As the pitcher that time, Adam Shea, kind of let one go low and inside. Out of the stretch. Just a little bit high and outside. Nice eye right now is 2 balls, no strikes. Great hitters count for a great hitter, Zach Backus.
Just watching down Coach McDonald doing a little adjustment on the infield and the outfield, Jeff, bringing them in a little bit closer. Going to try to preserve that shutout. Ball outside. 3 balls, no strike on Zach Backus. Good eye by the young man.
I believe that Backus just got a signal from his coach.
Let her fly.
And he said, let her go.
All right. Might as well.
Yep, at this point, you got to get the pitch and see what you can drive with it. And that is ball number 4.
Boy, that was a nice throw.
Just. I'm telling you what, he almost looked like he slid into that tag.
Brandon Brown with a great throw down the third base. And it was really, really close. But he put it right where you want it, Jeff. And the runner from Pinconning just beat the throw into third base. Nice throw by Brown.
And before I forget about it, Kim Landowski's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Kim.
She's old enough to legally vote and drink now, so we wish her a happy birthday as she's here watching the game from the western sideline.
Gotcha.
Shea right now with runners on the corner. Might be trying to overthrow a little bit at 76 miles an hour. You know, and as a pitcher, too, Mike, when you change pitchers, that landing spot is so important as a pitcher. And if that groove isn't just in the right spot, you got to groove that mound so you're not thinking about that landing spot. And he comes a little bit high. His offerings have been coming up high, and Coach McDonald says, I got to come out and calm this down before this gets out of check.
This is a good opportunity for Coach to go out there and calm that young man down, bring all the players in and say, look, let's relax a little bit. We're up 7-0. Like to have a shutout and just make sure that they're all on the same page.
How about the outfield powwow, too? The center fielder just stands put, and everybody comes running to him in the outfield.
Hey, center fielders, they're the man.
Yes,
they're the quarterback out there. They're telling everybody what to do.
Now, as we get through to this ball game, you have to remember, as a coach, you get 4 mound visits a game, but you can use 2 of them per half inning. You can't use more than 2 in a half inning, and you can't use more than 4 in a ball game.
That is an interesting rule, Jeff, when they put that into baseball, especially at the major league level.
Well, it's 6 at the major league level.
6 at the major league level, so that kind of changes your strategy a little bit for visiting the mound.
Well, what it does is it keeps the flow of the game going.
We're trying to speed the game up a little bit.
Nice job by Shea as he comes back with 77 miles an hour. I don't believe right now he's going to try and fool Cameron Floyd with anything. I just think he's going to be throwing strikes and rely on his defense to make plays.
Probably exactly what Coach Tim McDonald said.
Outside corner, first one inside corner, second one outside corner. We want to be a little birdie on Coach McDonald's conversation out there, because I'll tell you what, we've seen a couple of straight BBs since then that have both been strikes.
Yeah, just pitch it, son. That's all he said. Just throw it.
Adam Shea with an 0-2 pitch coming to the plate. He snaps off a Charlie at 68 miles an hour. And what a great eye by Cameron Floyd to lay off that pitch.
Well, that looked good from up here. Western coaching staff wanted just a little description of that pitch.
Well,
got it from the umpire, and they were all satisfied.
Well, sometimes
good question.
The umpire can't quite answer it correctly because, he can't tell you, but he goes, oh, man, that one fooled me too, because sometimes you do. I mean, sometimes you don't follow that thing all the way into the catcher's mitt, and they're human. And I'm not saying that it was a bad call, but you got to watch that thing all the way to the catcher's mitt, and
they've done a nice job tonight.
They've done a superb job tonight and keep the flow of the game going and calling the balls and strikes. A little C&I hit to right field. And the first run of the game now trying to come to third base. Great throw. And out at third base, how about that toss from the outfield?
Number 2, Evan Schlatter, Jeff. Nice job. He kind of decoyed a little bit right there like he was going to catch it, and that made the runner from first base go to third, and he did a nice job. Schlatter right on the money. 1 hop to the third baseman for out number 2. 7-1 Western over the Pinconning area Spartans.
You're taught to throw that ball with 1 hop because you don't throw it as high and it gets there quicker than if you try and throw it to him in the air.
A nice throw. Nice throw. Right on the money.
And when you can get that from your right fielder, that in most outfields is your weaker of the outfielders, and to see that happen, I don't know, as Nick Page must have got some volume discount here on these things.
Well, he said he's got big money, so he's buying everybody
up that
dinner.
Wallet, and he's making us all feel special here. Another strike at 69 miles an hour. He's snapping off some Charlies on Mason View right now.
Last time Nick opened up his wallet, moss flew out.
We love this group and this team. We all take each other very well. No balls and 2 strikes on Mason View.
Oh, nice.
Just a defensive swing to get a piece of a ball that he was fooled on to stay alive for another swing. Look at Mason. He's got his game face on out there on the screen.
Looking good.
That's the look he gave his dad when he caught that foul ball. Really, Dad?
Give me a break, Dad.
Give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. As Mason is trying to make it happen and keep this inning alive with 2 outs and a runner on first base. As Adam Shea continues to throw for the Western Warriors after the gem that was thrown by Alex Snyder.
Yep, a little one-hitter thrown by Snyder. Jeff, picked up a couple hits here in the inning. They've got 3 down 7-1 to the Warriors.
View doing a great job of fighting off another pitch that wasn't a great hittable pitch, but he just stays alive for the next one.
Yep.
Uh-oh, the Bee Gees are going over here with Natalie Doan now. Mason View. He has an inside pitch. And with the runner at first base, with no need for a throw, that's the 3rd out of the inning.
Yep.
And at the end of 6 innings of play, it is 7-1 as Pinconning finally gets on board. We'll be back for the 7th inning right after this on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine.
Back here for the top of the 7th inning, Alex Schneider leads things off for the Western Warriors. Ooh, and hit him in the head. That was a pitch that
kind of turned a little bit, Jeff, so it was kind of a glancing blow. Did a nice job, got him right on the helmet. Going to check to see if everything's all right. Talk to Alex. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Who is that first base coach down there?
Is that not sure. That's not Coach Snover.
Nope.
Nope. Coach Snover had the white, all white on tonight. He's kind of a fashion plate, too.
Well, he's a trendsetter. I see him down in the dugout. On the outside corner, Andrew Snover up to bat. Runner on first base. Nobody out. No balls, 1 strike. Top of the 7th. 7-1. Western on top over Pinconning High School. Just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Andrews had a nice game at the plate tonight. Jeff did a nice job. Turned a very nice, sweet-looking double play earlier in the game.
I like the 0-2 pitch that he served up into left field for an RBI single. That was my sweet play of him for the night.
Young man's got a good eye. That would have looked a little bit high. Umpire called that a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Andrew Snover. That came in 64 miles an hour.
That one was right at the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, nobody out here. Top of the 7th. Runner on first. Just outside.
You know what I like about all these pitches we've watched tonight, Jeff? They'll go inside, they'll go outside, and they're just making it difficult for the batter. You just never know where they're going to be when they're throwing the baseball.
Well, when you go in and out, you change the eye level. When you go up and down, you change the eye level, and then you throw the off speed in there, and you really make the batters think at the plate instead of just somebody that goes out there and throws 80-mile-an-hour fastballs. That's why these two teams are as good as they are.
You're absolutely right. Pitching, when you're this good, you got a good pitching staff.
When you look at a 35-4 realm for a combined score of these two teams, as they try and go down, just getting his foot in. That was kind of the takeoff before the pitcher got into his move. He turned around, and the second baseman was so far away from the bag. Pitcher let him very well, Dakota Sequin, but just that one was stolen as the pitcher from the start of the game.
Alex Snyder.
I'm going to just take off for second base and see what happens. And that's the 3rd stolen base of this game for Western. Snover does a nice job of fighting off another outside and high pitch. And again, he does such a nice job of just going with that ball when it's on the left-hand side. And that's what he looked like he was trying to do, is just trying to serve it up into left field.
Good back control. On deck for the Warriors, number 17, Blake Plowdry, the left fielder.
Plenty of time taken. Snyder.
Good bat.
Snover does a great job of getting that walk. Now we're going to find out what type of motion again. Do we see that hand coming to the ear? Are we going to see the motion of salute? What do we got? Oh, it's the salute.
I told you.
It just looked like Charlie Farkas out there. Salute. Farkason is in the house. Nobody out. Two runners on.
You've been watching too much hee-haw on cable TV, my friend.
That is just me TV at its best. No balls and one strike out there on the batter for the Plowdry for Western Warriors. 7-1 in the top of the 7th inning. Western continues to lead this game, have led from start. Right up the middle, great seeing eye hit. And they're going to hold the runner at third. A good move as that ball was brought back in a hurry by McGillen, the center fielder. And the bases are full right now. I think we're going to see another salute because the infield fly continues. Sometimes they won't signal it after the first one, but I'm going to wait for that eye contact and see. Do they get the infield fly rule is still in effect? Yes!
Ooh, did you get that? Oh, they got it, too. Yeah, I was wondering. I hope they got it.
Nice job out there, J-Rod. He's all over Mechanics 101 for the officials. As that ball's right on the inside third, and the batter is Joe Courier, number 14.
And,
nobody out and bases loaded.
Jeff, putting that camera out in left center field really is a good spot for everybody to watch the pitcher and what's going on in the baseball game.
It's just amazing what Nick Page can do with the technology today. The ball low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, still nobody out, and the bases juiced for the Western Warriors, trying to add to their 6-run lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Dakota Sequin comes to the stretch.
Look out.
Up the middle again. That umpire had to move away. And the center fielder, Hunter McGillen, is getting a little bit too much activity out there for his liking. That umpire right there, though, he just had that thing whistle right by.
He's going to give us another salute here pretty quick, too.
Yeah, he's waiting for the umpire because he's staring at him right now. As soon as there's eye contact, you're going to see it. Love the communication. No, we're not going to get the salute.
I think we will. Maybe not.
I think they've done saluted twice.
At the plate for the Warriors, number 15, the catcher, Brandon Brown. Oh, excuse me, Joe Courier. Oh, it is 15, number 15, Brandon Brown. Joe Courier had the hit earlier, Jeff. He's still up on the scoreboard. Big smile out of Joe up there, that beautiful scoreboard here at Dow Diamond.
That is just a thing of beauty.
It is. What a great opportunity for these young men.
And what a backdrop they've got to hit on.
Yeah.
As Brown check swing, can't hold up, and takes that thing forward. Very few places that you're going to play if you got a backdrop where you'll be able to pick that ball up right out of the pitcher's hand like you can here. And you're seeing more ballparks do that.
Yeah.
The old ballparks were seats all the way around. Now most of the parks straightaway center field will give you a whole different look.
Well, and you listen to the Huge Show, 100.9, Jeff, the radio station right to our left next door to us. Bill Simonson, the Huge Show, absolutely loves coming to Dow Diamond. And he's a big West Michigan Whitecap fan, so he knows good ballpark when he sees it.
That ball is going up. Infield fly rule is in effect. Now, the thing is, that can be a routine play for an infielder in the outfield. That is just at the discretion of the umpire. And he made that signal with the arm up in the air. The infield fly rule, the batter is out. The runners can advance then at their own recognizance.
Whoa.
Thesaurus times 2.
Wow.
They're on their own, in other words.
Oh, boy.
Nice pitch on the outside, 65 miles an hour. Really had the batter fooled on the play, and that's Trey Miller, number 10. Now with 1 out, still got the bases loaded. Miller's looking to do a little bit of damage here. 8-1 Western on top.
Well, we wanted it.
That pitch was a little bit high, and he started off route, said, I really can't do much with it. It's tough to catch up with that ball when it's let or high, so you might as well just let it go.
Yep, Trey got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Western has 1 run in already. 8-1, Warriors over the Pinconning area Spartans.
Right back up the middle. Nice job. Trying to get the easy one at home. And an errant throw. And Dakota Sequin is just upset with himself because sometimes when you throw that little lollipop, you got to throw it a little harder to make sure it goes straight, and that just sailed on him.
Yeah, it absolutely did sail, Jeff, and went all the way back to the backstop. Warriors got 2 more runs in, 10-1. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Bay City Western Warriors. 1 run, 3 hit, no errors for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Now the infield fly rule no longer in effect with first base open and 1 out. Dakota Sequin still having a pitch out of the stretch. Nice strike 1 to number 9, Jimmy Grigg into the ball game.
Jimmy had a nice hit his first time up earlier, Jeff. Jimmy, one of those juniors that'll be back next year for Coach McDonald and the Western Warriors.
Boy, they just seem like they don't have off years. They just keep reloading both of these programs. That thing is inside on the hands, and that thing almost skimmed the hands. And again, Mike, I marvel at these hitters that crowd the plate like that and can still get the meat of the bat on the ball.
Yeah, and sometimes, Jeff, with an inside pitch like that, you got to pull your hands in a little bit and then take it down the third baseline. And again, they are very tight, but you know what? That's it.
As that ball is slicing away. Nice job by the right fielder. And they're going to cut that ball off. A nice sacrifice fly for Jimmy Grigg. And that's 11-1 as crossing the plate is Joe Courier.
Nice sacrifice fly by Jimmy Grigg for the Warriors, Jeff. And that's what he was up there for. He just did get the run in any way he could, get it out of the infield, got that run in. 2 outs, 11-0. Western up over the Pinconning area Spartans here in the top of the 7th, Jeff. 4 runs put on the board here in the 7th inning for the Western Warriors.
Adam Shea, little southpaw stroke. And a pitch on the outside corner up at the letters. And when you're at this point in the ball game as an umpire, too, your strike zone is going to expand just a little bit. You got to know that as a hitter because you want to continue to keep this flow of this game going so you're not here till midnight. There's another line drive base hit for Shea as the pitcher adds a little steak to his resume, a ribeye steak.
In the score for the Warriors, number 10, Trey Miller. That'll give him an even dozen for the Western Warriors, 12-1. An impressive showing at the plate, Jeff, for Bay City Western. 15 hits up on the board for the number 2 ranked Class A team in the state of Michigan, the Bay City Western Warriors.
Adam Randall pinch running for Western right now, so they've been able to go pretty deep on their bench here in the last 2-3 innings to get a lot of people some PT. Evan Schlatter, the batter. Boy, takes his time. And a strike. As Dakota Sequin just continues to fire it away. That one just a little bit slower at 70 miles an hour. But again, when you change that speed by 4 or 5 miles an hour, it's enough to throw the timing of the hitter off.
Yeah, and the shades coming out from the sun setting, Jeff. You can see the
shadows.
The shadows going up right up towards the pitching mound now.
Burdenreiter's done a nice job, too, since he's stepped in at catcher. As Zach Wojda had what looked like a groin strain or something as he gingerly walked off the field, maybe the 3rd inning of this ball game today. And that's a big weapon for Jeff Sanick to not have for the rest of this doubleheader. Ground ball just wide of the bag at third. Evan Schlatter trying to make a bid for an extra base hit down the left field line. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, we go back to last year, Jeff. I think it was the Pinconning area Spartans when we were here against the Standish Sterling Central Panthers. Was that the game?
Correct.
And we'll talk about that after this next pitch. That was one of the
history was made.
Yes, it was. That was a highlight for a player from Standish and for Bay County TV.
Yes and yes. Evan Schlatter waiting on the 1-2 offering. Way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lance Cameron, the right fielder from Standish, on a long fly ball that was tailing away from him, tripped over the bench, jumped over the bench as he fell over the bench and made a great catch as he landed face first on the ground. And what happened after that, Mike?
Well, we'll talk about that after the pitch, Jeff.
Oh, you're just getting to me here. Look at that great catch as the nice toss out at first to end the inning. We'll keep it right here.
Well, Lance Cameron made that great catch, and our executive producer director Nick Page sent that to ESPN for the top 10, and he was number 5 that night in the ESPN top 10.
BCTV was on the bat.
We're in Bristol.
5 runs in the top of the 7th for Western. We'll take a break and come back for the bottom of the 7th. It's 12-1 Western over Pinconning on Bay County TV.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance for his new car. In 1947, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson in 1979. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back and ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Pinconning area Spartans down to their last at-bats. Jeff Dodd and Mike Wasdala along with you. As the Pinconning area Spartans have got to make magic happen. As Noah Clairhout is going to get an at-bat as he's done some running during this game. But he gets an opportunity now. As Adam Shea remains the pitcher for the Western Warriors. You're not going to see anything special out of Shea right now. I just believe Shea's going to rear back and say, you know what, hit it, it's right here. I'm going to rely on my defense.
You know, Jeff, looking at the Pinconning roster, 2 seniors on this squad this year. So they've got a lot of good talent coming back for next year.
And that ball bobbled, and Shea was a little bit late. He was over there watching as number 18, Alex Snyder, was going to gobble that up and make it routine when he bobbled it. Shea's going to learn from that you don't expect something. You get over there until you get called off and see it's routine. Pinconning area Spartans with an opportunity.
Batting for the Spartans, the catcher number 5, Brandon Burnright.
Nice job by Noah Clairhout, Jeff, getting down the first baseline.
Warming the Western bullpen, 13 Dardis. 13 Nick Dardis now warming the Western bullpen.
That ball is up on the roof. Watch out, because it's going to come down. And
oh no! It goes into the trough, and it goes into the PVC pipes, and it drops down into someplace underneath the stadium.
Aha!
That's engineering.
I caught one a few years ago that hit me right off the inner thigh coming off that. It was a great souvenir for the family, but I got a little black and blue inner thigh from it, but it was worth it for a loon souvenir.
Well, I thought it said it was going to hit you in the head.
Yeah, it would have broke the ball.
And then I was saying, now that's what's wrong.
That's a revelation.
Probably would have bounced back up on the roof.
12-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shea rears back to throw, and there is just a little dribbler, and he could not grab it in time. And by the time he did, and he's going to go all the way to third base.
Noah's got some wheels.
As if Shea gets that ball clean and throws it right away, that's a double play.
Yep. Noah Clairhout going from first to third on the throw from Shea to number 18 for the Warriors, Alex Snyder, went all the way out to the bullpen, and the Noah Clairhout did a nice job getting all the way to third base from first base.
First off, Shea did a nice job because that ball was to the first base side, and he's fallen towards third base with his normal delivery. So by the time he got that and gathered in, he took that extra step, and when he went to toss that ball, he was throwing that to the bullpen catcher, I believe. And that is why you put somebody in front of your bullpen catcher out there to watch it. That would have been one more hop, and the catcher would have caught that in the backside. So
Logan LaCourse.
Very nicely done.
Logan out there protecting the bullpen.
As Dardis is throwing in the pen right now, too, that in case he's needed. I doubt that they'll need to bring him in. Shea with the delivery. That had the home plate umpire backing up. He kind of thought that one could have been skip scooting. He's well protected in the shin area. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to throw off a little Charlie there, a little 67-mile-an-hour off-speed curveball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. And a little bit low, 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Shea's trying to get a little too fancy right now. I just think you grove that thing down the middle and let your defense play ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's what you'll see here on this 3-1 pitch. You'll say, go ahead and hit it. Nope, that thing's up high. And another base runner for the Pinconning area Spartans. Now what they're working for is, Mike, is momentum for going into game number 2.
Yeah, that's the play for the Pinconning area Spartans, number 11, Dakota Mays. And on deck is number 2, Hunter McGillen for the Pinconning area Spartans.
There's no quit in this club.
No.
Jeff Sanik's got to love that about his squad.
Yep, no quit. Never saw the Spartans quit since we've been watching them on TV, Jeff, and we've watched them or saw a lot of them during our radio days up in WKJC. They come to play every time, and they play a full game.
Well, and again, at 17-3 on the season, there is nothing in this team that doesn't say success. That's just a great, solid ball club as the pitch is high from Shea. And it's a 1-1 count. And I'll tell you, Jeff Sanik is really excited about the 8th grade group that is coming. He has got about 5 really talented ball players on that 8th grade group that in a year or two are going to contribute mightily for the varsity for probably 3 years.
Yeah, and it's important to get down into those younger grades, Jeff, and to build a program. And that's where you get them interested and you get a good quality coach down there and get them ready for that high school level.
Yes, there's a swing and a miss for the first out of that bottom of the 7th. And Jeff Sanik's stepson, Colin, is a very good player. And Betafer, the school board president's got a grandson that is a left-handed pitcher that is very talented as well. So the cupboard certainly isn't bare. And whenever you're a school the size of Pinconning, if you can get 4 or 5 great athletes out of one class, that really stocks your program well.
Sure does. I go back to that Pinconning 2003 football team that made it to the state semifinals.
Al Doty.
Yeah, Al Doty was the coach, and Banks Ralph was also on that staff. Dick Harmon. They had some really good players led by John Foco.
He was a load.
Oh, man, I tell you what, we enjoyed watching them, following them. And, they just had a great group of kids right there back in 2003.
Wind up in the pitch. Look at that nice off-speed curveball, 65 miles an hour. Finds the outside third.
That was a nice pitch.
That's almost unhittable.
Froze the batter, Hunter McGillen.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hunter. Hunter with a line drive, and that will be the ball game as the Western Warriors take game 1, 12-1. We'll be back with a post-game wrap right after this.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Welcome back to our Plum Harris Insurance post-game wrap here on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdala, Alex Schneider, really set the tempo for this game early and often for the Western Warriors.
Yeah, Jeff, he had a really good baseball game tonight, throwing the ball really well. Only gave up 1 hit, 0 runs. Nice job by Alex tonight. Good effort by the Bay City Western Warriors with a big 12-1 win over the Pinconning area Spartans here at Dow Diamond.
When you look at this Western team, defensively they're very sound, but the way that they were able to get runners on base, move them up, it wasn't necessarily all small ball, but it was unselfish hitting, some seeing eye hits, some great protections of the plate with 0-2 counts. They're just doing all the little things correctly now.
Well, and they just keep coming at you, Jeff, with their players. They keep coming at you. You know, you've got a good, solid team right there. It wasn't all small balls, some bunts, but they hit the ball all over the field. And when you look at this team, they're very smart on the base pass. They've done a nice job. Coach McDonald, they're watching him. He's stopping them and he's sending them. So good quality, fundamentally sound baseball team.
When you look at the other side of the Pinconning area Spartans, this is only their 4th loss of the season, and 3 of those 4 losses have come to the Western Warriors.
Well, when you're playing the Western Warriors, this is good competition for you, and you're learning something about your team, and you're competing against a very good baseball team. Western's number 2 in the state for a reason, Jeff, and they're very, very good at their craft. They did a nice job. Pinconning had some opportunities. They just did not take advantage of them. They did some nice things, but, they'll regroup for game number 2, and hopefully they can get a win out of the doubleheader.
When you allow yourself a 7 or an 8 run lead, too, you get to bring kids in off the bench, which keeps your starters fresh for the start of the second game. What a great luxury.
It was really nice for Coach McDonald. He probably truly enjoyed getting some kids in there to play that might not have normally played. He came off his bench, got the kids in, got some of his starters some rest, and it's nice to see those kids come off the bench and contribute.
I was kind of hoping that the big country might have made it in for an at-bat, at least a pinch hit. But when you've got that many buttons that you can push as a coach, that is just truly a thing that's fun.
Well, and they're so solid. They get kids off the bench. The starting 9 they're just solid. They're deep. Coach McDonald has a very good baseball team, Jeff. And the only thing that can really stop Western is Western themselves, and maybe an injury here or there. But the way they're playing, the way they're hitting, and fundamentally sound running the bases and the fielding, this is a good baseball team. And I'll tell you what, Pinconning is the same way. They're well coached. They're fundamentally sound. They can hit the baseball. They're solid, too. So, look for big things from these 2 teams in the state tournament.
Well, Zach Wojda, they can only hope that he's all better, too. He went out in the 2nd or the 3rd inning with what looked like a groin strain. Couldn't really tell, but usually you get a pretty good idea based on how gingerly he was walking that something was not right.
Yeah, we noticed that he just couldn't throw the ball down to second base, Jeff. But when he was playing, when he wasn't injured, we liked what he was doing. I think this is a good, solid baseball team. They got good pitching. They got good fielding. They'll hit the ball. They just didn't hit the ball tonight. They had 3 hits overall. But they can hit the baseball, and they're going to be in the Class B state tournament. And you know what? Who knows what's going to happen there?
Well, as a team like Pinconning, Mike, you learn a lot when you're playing against the absolute very best here. So you scratch and claw, you get what you could. 7th inning, there was no quitting that club. They could have just rolled it in, saying, yep, I'm down 11, but they had a nice rally, and they got some people running the bases and made some things happen. So that just shows you the character of Jeff Sanick's team, and with over 300 victories, that says a lot about that program.
Well, those kids have always played hard at Pinconning, Jeff, and Coach Sanick said he doesn't expect any less if they're up 12-0 or if they're down 12-1. So, and when you look at the schedule, and then some people might say, why is Penny playing Western? You want to play Bay City Western. You want to play the best. You want to go out there and show what you can do against the best, and they have played hard. They've had, and they played them 3 times, and they played them hard, and unfortunately they didn't win all 3, but they know what they can do against a good quality team.
Well, it was a fun game, and we had a blast. We thank the folks here at Dow Diamond for allowing us to come up here and do this game in the absolute plush surroundings and confines here. Another tip of the hat to a tremendous, maybe as big a high school baseball crowd as I've ever seen for a regular season game.
Yeah, this is a good crowd, Jeff. And, what's really cool for these young men when they come to Dow Diamond, they actually prep this field for the second game, and they get the koi out there, and they make it just as pretty as they do for the major league players, the Loons players, and the visiting team. So what a great opportunity for us. It's just wonderful to come here. We got such a great venue to watch this up here behind home plate, and again, the folks behind the scene doing another great job for Bay County TV.
Well, it's our family, and nobody does it better. Jared and Natalie Doan doing the camera work. Nick Page doing a little camera work tonight, as Natalie Doan did a little double duty producing and directing. And of course, partner, always a pleasure to have you by my side.
Well, it's good to be back and come back at Dow Diamond. We'll get some things all straightened around, Jeff, but it is a pleasure to be back with you. I haven't seen you in a while, but we got some more exciting things in the future. And, before you know it, the school year is going to be over with. And guess what? We're going to be prepping for fall.
Well, we'll be looking forward to football season, but I think we're going to have a little John Glenn Pinconning soccer. No, Garber. Excuse me.
Garber
is going to be the host school on Friday for some soccer. So we'll just be off for a couple of days and right back at it. I had a long weekend down in Texas doing some powerboat racing down there with the family, announcing it. So time for this guy you can tell I need some beauty rest.
Well, you can't sleep long enough for that, brother.
Well, you're right. I only got so many hours in the day. But it's been a pleasure having you along with us. Thank you to all of our sponsors again for continuing to have the faith in this great TV show, as we'll look forward to talking with you on Friday night. Have a great night, all.
We'll see you next time.